and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is episode 238, and it is a very special episode. It is April 30th. It is National Oatmeal Cookie Day. I am AK, your co-host. We are the Millie Goats, and we have one of the greatest guests, a legendary guest, nay, a man who is on an absolute tear. Got his first win at the Zurich Classic last week after absolutely knocking on the door for the last few weeks and having an absolutely on fire year. Ranked 6th in the FedEx Cup, 33rd in the official Golf World Rankings, the 2025 Zurich Classic champion, Mr. Andrew Novak.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for having me back.
The Screenplay Podcast, getting some notoriety.
Got it on there. We had like 100 plays today. Once we dropped our episode. Yeah, we're going crazy.
Well, I saw on the I think it was on when they were interviewing you guys last week on the PGA thing. It was they brought up somebody brought up your podcast.
Amanda in our walk and talk, Amanda Balionis said something about it.
Oh,
but she didn't drop the name, and I'm not sure everybody knew the name of it, but I actually linked it on Twitter this time around. I always just put it on Instagram, but that seems to have helped. Apparently,
yes. I
My
saw
Twitter
that
following has gone up immensely in the last month or so. So
how crazy has it been, dude? It has been really fun to watch the last few month or so, and even before that, you've been having a really good year. Just to watch and gather my friends and my family around whenever we were at family vacation. I'm like, hey, Andrew Novak's guy, he's in it again. He's in the mix again. Yeah, I love it.
It's been some good golf.
I mean, I guess the obvious, the cliche question is what has changed? Probably nothing, but I'll let you kind of tell us what's going on there.
I've been playing well. Everything's working pretty well for the most part. I'm driving it good. The putting work I put in the off season, the putter change and stuff like that has all really come together. The putting stats are best they've ever been, which I think is probably the biggest key. Short game is still the short game. It's really good. I would say my iron game has been strong. I would say it's not as good as it maybe can be, but everything else is definitely picking it up right now. So.
Now, do you look at some of these stats? I was looking at, I love to look at the stats about the strokes gained to around the green and all that stuff. And you're 11th and around the green. So it's okay, around the green, you've been cooking, and then your approach shots and stuff from 125 to 175 or whatever it is have been really,
Yeah.
Do you feel that or notice that at all?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I think what I've missed in good spots where I can allow my short game to take care of any mess. And I think I'm this year more so than any other year playing the courses the right way. I think partially me, but also my caddy. It's our third or fourth time playing a lot of these places. So I think he's doing an awesome job kind of plotting us around the golf course. And we've worked hard on that. I think it's just an extra level of comfort now that we've been here so many times. I got off to a good start, so I'm not kind of playing off my back foot now. I'm out in front of it. I've got enough points. I've got, now I have a win. I actually have some job security. Haven't had that in a while. I'm playing some pretty free golf right now. So
you can you can tell too. I like watching you because you're having a good time out there.
Yeah, everybody says I look mad though.
A
lot of people say people say I don't ever smile out on the golf course. I don't get that. I feel like I'm.
That's not what I've seen. I
don't know what they're talking about. They say I look angry all the time.
No,
I've had a focused face.
I just tell people when that comes across my way that I have resting.
Yeah,
dude face. Like people say resting B face.
Oh.
We have the resting D face.
I don't it's we've been I guess I've been we've been watching for a while though. It's been I wouldn't say that, but that's just me watching. Man, the RBC Heritage stuff, that was cool. Just, how much that blew up. And then you had you were chasing Augusta there for a minute. What an electric month about
Yeah.
some of this stuff where you've gotten to like have your friends and family there in South Carolina with you. You know, and then Griffin, who's an NC guy too, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, just some of this stuff the last month has just been almost like movie script-esque, if you will.
Yeah, I think I even said that. Well, I guess I said about the Zurich win, but yeah, it's the last month has been about as good as it gets. I mean, the golf has been awesome. I've had family there. Got my first win, like shooting up world rankings, shooting up Ryder Cup standings. Yeah, things are going good.
Love it. You know, and then you had the playoff with JT. That was, I mean, just great golf. I guess the next question would be: there's obviously other sports going on here. You're a huge football guy. We saw Wofford has been you know, reposting and doing a lot of stuff for you. That's been cool. Have you been keeping up with Wofford and
yeah, I had a lot of Wofford people. At Heritage, which was awesome. And I'm probably going to have a ton of Wofford people at the PGA in 2 weeks because that's in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
And
right.
I
Back at
feel
Quail.
like at least half the alumni base ends up in Charlotte when they're done at Wofford. So it's probably going to be a lot of Terriers there, which would be really, really cool.
Yeah. The gallery, they're going to have to get shirts.
I might be boots on the ground there as well.
Nice.
We might be boots on the ground. I don't know if we'll be wearing Wofford stuff. If we show up in App State stuff, they might throw us.
Wouldn't expect. It's black and yellow, gold. It's close enough.
Okay, so you know how we like to do things on this show. I mean, we have the National Day, we have all these debates, and then obviously the first question I'm going to ask is: it's National Oatmeal Cookie Day. Where do you reside on the oatmeal cookie? Because it's not this. When I did the research, this is not a oatmeal like cream pie, which is what I thought it was. But we're going to say
like an oatmeal raisin cookie, but just an oatmeal cookie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cookie. If there's nothing else, I'll eat it. But if there's literally anything else left on the plate besides that, I'm probably eating that first before the oatmeal cookie.
I don't know.
And typically that's how it goes too, with like oatmeal raisin cookies.
Yeah, if you have a plate, this is the thing I don't understand. So people make these plates, and you got your column of white macadamia, your column of chocolate chip, and your column of oatmeal raisin. Why are they the same amount? Every time you go look at the thing, the whole chocolate chip row is gone, and there's still 25 oatmeal raisin left. Like, if you want to do it, do like 50 chocolate chip and like 5 or 10 oatmeal raisin. At least hit like the balance properly, because now you got the last 20 people showing up are like, oh well, I guess I'll take the oatmeal raisin. Like, nobody wants that.
Let me be healthy. It's like, it's still not healthy. You might as well eat the chocolate chip.
No, exactly.
It's like, I've done this study about cereal too. I have a big thing. Cereal's so good, it's so bad for you. But a lot of people eat Raisin Bran because they think it's healthy, right? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's still got a bunch of sugar, so you're better off eating like
Mentos Crunch for what you want to eat.
Yeah, I mean, right. Just get what you want, or Lucky Charms. But I mean, that's a whole nother. We can go down that road. But if I'm gonna eat one of those cookies, I mean, obviously, like you said, it's chocolate chip, but the packaged ones, the oatmeal cream pies. I'm going Star Crunch. I'm just going Star Crunch anyways. So,
yeah, I mean, an oatmeal cream pie is good, but that's not an oatmeal cookie. That's different. That's separate. I'm still taking a good chocolate chip cookie over an oatmeal cream pie.
100%.
Do you remember the ones where they did the chocolate chip cookies with the cream? It was like a chocolate chip cookie cream pie. Now those were elite. I remember those from baseball camp. So
that.
Well,
I never had that. Now, my wife's from Pennsylvania, and they do whoopie pies up there, and it's kind of similar. And those are fire.
Whoopie pie, yes.
I think that's like an Amish thing, maybe.
There you go. Here's one, Chipwich. You ever had a Chipwich?
I do not know what that is.
Was that chocolate chip
Two
sandwich?
soft baked chocolate chip cookies.
I mean, it sounds great, but no, I haven't had it.
Vanilla ice cream in the middle. So,
okay. With the ice cream in the middle. Yeah. Okay.
Chipwich.
Yeah.
The original.
My wife has made those like homemade before. Like that's.
What was she fired up to after the win?
Oh yeah, she was out there on the green.
Yeah.
No, she said peace out.
No, she flew it. She wasn't there all week. She flew in Sunday to be there, and then just in case, and yeah, we won, and so her and Dana ran out on the green. Just got on TV, celebrated with us. Pretty cool.
That's cool, man. That had to feel good. I mean, that putt that Griffin made on 17 was awesome.
Yeah, that was a bonus for sure.
That was awesome.
It took a little pressure off 18, which was nice. I mean, there's still pressure on 18, but we could play it pretty safe.
And you last
like
few
you
weeks,
did, really. I mean,
right.
Pretty
every
controlled.
Every
18.
shot we hit on 18 was exactly what we needed to do, because we didn't know what happened to the Hoygaards left. Like, we saw them up there, and then obviously after we found out they got like a crazy drop and all that, but we saw them up there, and then up by the green they chipped, and I saw they made birdie, so I knew we had one on them. So as long as Knapp and Sappin didn't eagle, then we were safe. And after their tee shot, they were kind of in trouble. Bennett hit a perfect tee shot, so we were just playing it smart from there, like, station to station golf, I guess you could call
it. Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was, you guys were kind of picking it. I love the team golf aspect. That's just me. I don't, we all played football, but the team golf is fun because it's like, you got a chance somebody to pick you up. That's kind of cool, and you get a little momentum, a little jump from that.
Hey,
like that's
speaking
cool.
of team golf.
Oh.
Top six. Yeah, in it.
Oh, for Ryder Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm 9th right now.
Yeah, you're 9th now. Yeah.
Yeah, got a little more work to do, but
yeah,
it's a good start.
Oh, heck yeah!
Let's go.
We're rooting for you for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you this: have you started the resurgence of North Carolina sports professionally? As the you won, and then on the back of you, the Hurricanes won.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty
great
much
game last night.
Yeah. Are you a Hurricanes guy? That was my next question.
Love the Canes. Absolutely.
Caniac.
I mean, I was born in Raleigh, so I grew up with it like a little bit. Like when I was real young, I actually went. I don't know how closely y'all follow it, but I want to say 99. They were in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Red Wings, like the Brett Hull, Steve Yzerman team. Like Red Wings were like nasty. I think
26 years in a row in the playoffs.
Red Wings goalie. I don't even know. Anyway, they were.
It was him or Osgood.
It might have been. I can't remember. That team was nasty. And I actually went as like a 4 or 5 year old. My dad and a friend of mine, we got tickets and went to one of the Stanley Cup games. That's like one of my oldest memories, was being at one of the Stanley Cup final games in that. Now, we didn't win that year, but
no.
Canes were bad for a while. But man, the last few years been knocking on the door. Hopefully this is the year it kind of works out.
06 was the Stanley year, right?
Yeah, it beat the Oilers in the final. Is that right?
I don't remember. Probably.
I don't remember exactly. I remember we were at state then.
I want to say I think it was Chris Pronger and the Oilers.
Prongs. That guy was an animal. Yeah. I love hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan. But it's are you think you're gonna be able to make a game?
Canes beat Edmonton in 7. I'm not sure how PGA will go. If there is a way that I could like get up to Raleigh from Charlotte one night, maybe it'd be really tough. I would love to though. The only thing, so when I played Corn Ferry, they had that Raleigh event, the Rex in Corn Ferry, and that's like the same week as Memorial, and it was always the Eastern Conference Final, or like or not, is it Eastern? Yeah, whatever. It was always like conference finals or something like that. And I went to see us play. They were playing like the Lightning, I want to say, and we like basically didn't score for 2 games that I went to. And so I'm like worried me going to the games is not actually productive. But
as a fan, that's tough.
I know. I want us to win, but I want to be there. So now if they want to set something up where I get up there and do the siren or something before one of the periods, that would be real cool. I'd be definitely in on that.
That's my next question. Well, it looks like they're going to play the Caps, because I think the Caps should.
Yeah, I think I saw they were winning.
Montreal, which is a shame because Montreal is an absolutely electric barn, and everybody should see a hockey game there. But yeah, I mean, so the Hurricanes, big fan. Not big fan, but big fan of hockey in North Carolina. I love how nutso those fans are. So
it was loud in there last night.
Oh
at least on
God.
TV, it sounded loud.
They're nuts. They're absolutely nuts. So, okay, so we got the Hurricanes. Now, the next thing we have to get to before the 100, there's obviously a hot debate going around the internet right now. 100 dudes versus a gorilla. Where do you stand on that? Because that's did you discuss it on your podcast?
Like if you're going around just picking 100 dudes off the street, like the average human, like level of athleticism, level of just physical fitness, like if you're taking truly out, like are we taking like, are there kids involved? Are there old dudes involved in this? If like you're giving me, I can handpick 100 dudes and I can like have somebody organize them. There's like actually thought into like how we handle this. And it's like a life or death thing. Like, hey, some of y'all are going to die, but like this has to go down. I think 100 humans can get it done. I mean, especially if I'm handpicking like the baddest dudes that can actually do something. But 100 average, like, I mean, a gorilla like that, like literally one smack and people are just done. Like, I want to say, isn't it gorillas? They don't even actually know, like they can't even measure their strength. Like,
no, I
because
was
they don't
reading
they don't know like if they go full force.
I heard they could lift like 10 times their body weight or something, which is like thousands upon thousands of pounds. And I just feel like if you're like, that's like ant stuff, by the way. That's like ants lifting like 300 times their body weight or whatever that number is. But if you're just saying like the first 10 guys are just going to run up to this gorilla and it's like, it would be over. And then the rest of the people are just supposed to be like, okay, who's the next 10? Like, there's absolutely no chance in my book. I love how people are like, oh, yeah, we could do it. And it's like, no, dude, you're really going to watch 10 people just like, basically get mauled and then you're going to run up there?
Like if you have like Khabib or somebody that could like choke it out with their legs, like all you got to do is get enough people in the arms and legs to somewhat pin it down so he can wrap his, like whoever it's going to be, wrap their legs around the neck and just
choke him out.
On. I think that would be the best way, like choke it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There has to be some sort of, that's what everybody keeps saying. Like we have the element of planning and you know,
because if you encircle it, like if you enclose it, it doesn't really have anywhere to go. Like it probably is going to pick a direction and charge, but like eventually you're going to have it surrounded. Like especially if you can maybe get some, you know, dirty like eye shots or something. Like if you can claw out an eye, somebody gets that done, you're probably looking good. You got to remember, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe they don't tire, but like to take out 100 people, like think about like just sitting there throwing punches. Like even if like humans are going down in like one punch and stuff, that's still a lot of hits. Like they might get tired at some point, like slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, endurance is definitely a factor. I just don't know what kind of endurance a gorilla has. Can you imagine like standing there and all of a sudden he just turns around and spinning back fist and knocks out like 6 people and you're just standing there like, oh my gosh, there's no way. There's no way. And then you got to
think about this whole thing and hoping I'm not one of the 100 picked for this.
What am I getting for this? Is it just like for fun? Do I get $1 million? Like, do I get like do I get like, can I go, to the Super Bowl for free or something? Or what are we doing here? So
better be more than that.
But the gorilla, I'm on the and then there's a new one, by the way. This is the next one so we're just gonna get ahead of this before everybody else. So this, I don't know if you bring it up on the show, but there's a new one now and it says, if for $100 million, which animal could you survive against for 20 minutes? Clearly 100 people couldn't beat a gorilla. So
yeah,
I would.
If you can choose the arena, like, I don't know if gorillas like swim well. So like if you could just try and tread water for 20 minutes. But
that's a good point.
The other 3 can swim. I'm like most confident, like hippo, no chance.
No chance.
At all. No chance.
None.
Like,
nope.
Dude, those things, they can run way faster than people think. and they can swim way fast. Like you're not getting away from that.
That's almost like their natural habitat is in water.
Yeah,
right?
well, yes, but like they move like I don't know. If you're enclosed in a space, like you're just getting stomped out. Bear, no chance. Tiger, definitely no chance. Like gorilla, really, like there's no chance. There's not.
20 minutes. I would take. So you get a gorilla, a tiger, a bear, or a hippo. I would take the tiger.
I'm taking the tiger as well. Try to do some Jungle Book, stare it in the eye.
You know what I would do? I would just be like, hey, Tiger, you have to play in the college football playoffs, and you're terrible in the playoffs. So that's what I would just flaunt like a college football bracket in front of his face, and he'd be like, oh gosh, I can't survive this.
Or you could just do the NFL route and go Bears.
That's true. But no, the hippo, the amount of people that say easy, it's a hippo, those people don't know ball. They don't know ball. If you ever read about hippos, like in Colombia, like they are wreaking havoc on mankind down there. Unbelievable. So, but anyways, that was the next one. So everybody get ready because that's going to be the next whatever. So the next internet sensation, whatever you want to call it.
Now I'm going to say this, AK. On that 100 million, can we have it accrued by the time that you're lasting? Like say, you last 3 minutes and you can write it off in your will to your family and
get a portion of it.
And get a fraction of the payment.
That's a good point. Oh, but anyways, there you go. So that's the next debate. Any other final thought? Which one would you pick if you had to pick one? Which one would it be? I
mean, if I'd rather just take 0 and not do it, like not even worth the risk. I'm very confident. I don't think, like, depending on how big the enclosure is, like realistically, I don't think if any of these animals wanted me like dead, I don't know if 20 seconds is really enough. Like
that's terrifying.
Yeah, you're done.
I got nothing.
You're gone.
You don't see a lot of team names about the hippopotamuses, which is weird because they're kind of a fierce animal. I just thought about that.
Somebody should do that. There's got to be a minor league baseball team, right?
100%.
Like surely.
We got into a dispute with the yard goats, the New Hampshire yard goats, or no, the Hartford yard goats today. Yeah. Awesome name, though. Not really a dispute. We were just going back and forth. But anyways. Okay. So anyways, now what I really want to ask about is when you get a win like you did on tour, like that's I see that in your name there. I just noticed that PGA Tour winner. That's awesome. It's a couple of things about the Zurich. Is that an event you look forward to as it being a team event? I mean, how does picking your teammate go? How did you and Ben? I mean, what's the whole with the dynamic between you and Ben Griffin? And a couple of I got a couple of follow-ups to that.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun event. Like you are taking it seriously, but it's different from other events. Like it is a fun week. Like I prefer playing with like a friend in that event, somebody that I'm gonna have fun with. Like if we play well, great. If we don't, like we're gonna have a good time, and it's just another week on tour. Like I think keeping the vibes good in the group, especially with how like tough alternate shot can be, is important. So it was nice playing with Ben because he really only knows like one way. He keeps it pretty light out there, having a good time, and I think it was perfect for the week.
Now, I don't know, are you guys pretty good friends outside of like playing game, like, or because I know he's a North Carolina guy too, right?
Yeah, we grew up together, sort of. I mean, I've known him since we were probably 13, 14 years old, playing like junior tournaments. I was in Charleston at the time, but he was grew up in Chapel Hill, so we'd play like Carolina's junior events, Carolina's Golf Association events, whatever, against each other. We played some bigger stuff, AJGA stuff growing up. And then in college, we didn't really overlap much in college because he was at UNC. They were just playing like bigger, better tournaments than us. But in the summer, I'd play a lot of events that overlap with him, certain like big amateur tournaments. And then we turned pro, and we both ended up moving to St. Simon's Island, playing out of Sea Island. So I played a lot of golf at home with him here, and that's kind of how we like got set up. Just whenever we play together here, get paired together in money matches, we seem to always win. So we kind of knew that if we played together, it would probably go well because we always just kind of play together or play well when we play together.
I'd say it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did all right.
What was it, 28 under? Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, so like that was the next question, was like for team bonding, is it like a locker room vibe whenever you're out there? Like is it like football locker room, there's a lot of joking or pregame stuff? Do you guys like before the round start, that sort of thing? Is there like a team meeting and stuff?
Not necessarily a team meeting, but like definitely it was like it was already being like pretty light. Like Ben, his caddy, me and my caddy, we were all kind of like cutting jokes and just having a good time with it. Early week that carried on into the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like we were just having a good time out there. Like obviously playing well and being serious, but we were also like kind of goofing off and having fun as well.
Yeah.
In between all of it. So
that's awesome. Is like for dudes like listening to golf who love to play golf, and like when you're playing golf with your boys, like you're having fun. That's when it's at its best.
Mm-hmm.
So when you win, you get the tours, that you get the exemptions and the the points and the benefits and like all that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, what's one of the biggest things, like once you get that win, what does that, explain to us and to people what that means to get that huge?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to winning. 2-year exemption is huge. You get a bunch of points, bunch of money. You get into all the elevated events the rest of the year. You get in the PGA Championship. You get in Century next year, which is the Maui tournament.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Zurich's one of the few that does not get you in the Masters, but and there's no world ranking points tied to it. But
okay.
Still, I mean, my world ranking's looking good. I've got a lot of FedEx Cup points, which is now really good. So it kind of frees you up schedule-wise for the rest of the year. Ben also touched on it in our interview after. I don't know if they ended up posting it or not. I think I saw something about it. But basically, this win with our 2-year exemption locks up our retirement with the PGA
I did
Tour.
see that.
So, like the way it works, I want to say you have to be a full member for 5 years out of any 10-year stretch, and this will the 2-year exemption will get us both of us over the 5-year mark for that. So basically, the funds, I don't know, whatever, like the funds that the tour has for us, they vest basically, and that's
like your options.
It's a good deal. Sort of yeah. So it's a good deal for us. It's something that they don't really put it up on the graphic for TV. It's not really something that people really think about, but players are definitely aware of.
That's cool.
when they do hit that, because that's a pretty big deal.
That is a big deal. So I mean, what's next as far as golf goes, and we'll kind of. That's we had a question submitted there. But as far as what's the prep look like for the next couple of weeks here?
Yeah, I'm home this week, but I'm still practicing. I got a big week next week. I've got a major the next week after that, so definitely want the game to stay sharp. I don't know. Prep this week's like a little bit interesting because it's a course that I haven't played before, and I don't know the course at all. Like I've found like some flyovers on YouTube, but it's still tough to like tell, how far shots are going to be going. I don't really know what kind of distance approach shots I'm really going to be having. We have no previous data for this course because they've never played this tournament, this course. So it's, I'm just trying to work on all my game. And then when I get there next week, it'll be a lot of, learning the golf course and getting ready for the tournament.
I'm
And
going to go out on a limb and say 125 to 175. Those are your marks.
yeah, I do think it is a little bit shorter golf course. So I do think there will be some birdie opportunities. The greens are probably going to be it's the Truist Championship, which used to be the Wells Fargo. That was always at Quail Hollow. Quail Hollow has the PGA Championship the next week, so they've moved it to Philly Cricket Club up in Philadelphia. Like famous golf course, classic golf course. I think it's a Tillinghast design. I think it's like par 70. It might only be like 7,200 yards. I'm guessing the rough will probably be up. The greens are probably going to be really fast, probably firm. Honestly, if anything, it'll be a pretty good Oakmont prep. It'll be shorter, but similar kind of feel, I'm guessing. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Now you're going back. You said you're going back up to PA. You said that's where your wife's from. Up. She's from.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got 2 Pennsylvania events this year. In a typical season, you got 0, but
yeah,
two this year with the U.S. Open being there, and then Truist getting put there for 1 year.
Is she a Steelers fan? Pittsburgh.
Her dad is. She'll root for the Panthers if I tell her to.
The Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. Did you know?
Yeah, like her. So my father-in-law, he's a Steelers fan, but he doesn't like Tomlin. But he's a big Penn State guy, so that's the one that he like really pushes. So she'll root for Penn State.
Oh, well, that's almost even worse because James Franklin keeps losing. That guy, I don't. But here you go. What was your other sports growing up? Do you think you had a shot at anything else?
I played everything for the most part. Like growing up, basketball is the sport I stuck with the longest. My dad played basketball in college. My mom played soccer. So those were kind of the 2 main ones. I played baseball a bit. I wasn't a huge fan. Football, I don't have pain tolerance. I wasn't a good enough athlete for that. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the sport for me. Basketball was the last one I gave up for golf. So
Hooper, right? I think I saw.
Yeah, I could shoot. I mean, I just don't jump high, not very fast, not a great ball handler. I can pass, shoot. I can box out. About it.
The Jackie Moon type deal. Dump it down low, dump it back out, dump it back low, dump it down. Another question, somebody do you have somebody you'd like to play with in the pro? Like if you do pro-ams? Is there somebody that
like
you've ever
tournaments?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get in a lot of the pro-ams now, which is cool.
That's awesome.
I don't really care if they're good golfers, bad golfers. I've had a great time in pro-ams with terrible golfers, and I've had some like pretty rough times with some good golfers. Like it's just about how people treat it. Like my job is to be there to make sure people are having fun. And if like people are taking it too serious or getting like really frustrated because they're not playing as well as they want, like it's a PGA Tour golf course. Like it's set up. I mean, it's easy pins for a pro-am, but like there's long rough. It is playing long. It's probably kind of firm. Like it's going to be tough. And so as long as people aren't getting too like upset about how they're playing, like we're probably gonna have a good time out there.
We're gonna have to get you set with our guy, the punter. That's he. You know, we'll for the Panthers, Sam. He likes
they just signed him.
Yeah, that's our guy. That's he's one of our good friends.
Sam Martin. What?
Yeah, Sam Martin.
Sam Martin. Okay.
App State guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's he plays golf.
He's at a good spot to get a bunch of work, probably.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna flash up the Bears trade here in a minute, and then we're gonna discuss who won the trade in depth. I had another question here. You're a big Neil Warnock. Do you think the U.S. men's national team of Hein Pochettino? Did I say that right?
Yeah. I thought it would work out better. It has been an incredibly slow start, a little bit disappointing with what I've seen so far. It's interesting how quickly fans turned against Greg, and now when they hire somebody that the fans wanted, now they're like turning on the players a little bit because they're playing like crap. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll work itself out, but it is a little concerning how poorly they have played. I would love to see extra reps for the team just to hopefully get some good momentum going into this World Cup.
What's the deal with soccer? Because I want soccer to be good. As a guy who watches like casual U.S. men's national team at times, but also World Cup when it comes around, I'm like paint my face, wear the flag, like, inject it into my veins. What are we doing? How can we not be good at soccer? How do we get the boys?
We have too many other sports that just take precedent. Like, if our best athletes went into soccer, we would be better. I still don't know if we'd be like, people are like convinced, like if all of our best athletes went into soccer, we'd be the best like soccer country. I still think that there are developmental, like structural issues with how the US develops their players. Like, really, if you have like your best players in the US, like it's still better to send them over to Europe to learn over there. So like, I don't like, the US invests a bit more into like better athletes. I think if you want to make better players, you need to learn like technical skills a little bit earlier and have that be a little bit more like of a focal point.
Yeah.
But I think like soccer's gonna exist. There's gonna be like, it's such an easy soccer's such an easy game to get kids into early. Like, it's gonna exist. Like, there will be players that do that, but I still think like your top athletes like are gonna end up going to other sports. Like, that's just kind of the way things go in the US. So we might have like brief stints where we get some good players and there's good success, but I don't ever really see us like, unless there's like some crazy investment into it, being like a top 5 powerhouse in like national soccer.
I mean, that's like when you're a kid, you've got
international soccer.
So many options as a kid. You know, my son he plays flag football, and then he's got soccer, and then he's got baseball, and I've gotten him into golf. So, somewhat. And there's just, you have these plethora of sports, and most, some of these other countries, it's just soccer as soon as you over.
It's tough too, because like soccer, like really, like if I'm a parent of a kid, like soccer might be like one of the ways I would kind of like lean my kid right now. Like football, obviously, like head injuries and stuff, like that's scary. Baseball, they're playing like travel baseball is like actually insane. Like kids like
it's nuts,
blowing out their arms at like 12, like playing 160 games a year, like ridiculous stuff.
For like 4 or 5 games a weekend.
Baseball's like crazy. Basketball, like the AAU scene seems to be like crazy right now, like just chaos. Like soccer honestly kind of seems like maybe the best option right now. But
true.
I mean, I know there's chaos within soccer as well. Like my wife's, both of her brothers played like D1 soccer, and their parents were traveling for club soccer events and stuff all the time too. But I don't know if it puts as much like wear and tear on your body. I mean, like hamstrings, legs and stuff, like knees, but I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it's a bad option.
You don't see a lot of overweight soccer players though, like you stay pretty healthy in soccer, in my opinion.
Something about running like 8 miles.
Like it kind of keeps it off of you.
Yeah,
might have been why I stopped. I don't know. It's like I'm a burst guy, I'm like give me 10 seconds, all I got, and then boom, like.
Maybe we'll see that surge into soccer, and maybe like even tennis.
Pickleball.
I think tennis and golf are kind of blowing up a little bit. I think like with the injury concerns with football and some other things just being like as crazy as they are, I do think tennis and golf are getting boosted up a lot just because like kids are kind of getting pushed that way a little bit, which I mean, for golf, that's great.
Dude, the ratings for golf the last few weekends have been, I've seen some of the numbers have been just incredible. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing people, when I'm watching golf, like, Joe Highsmith a couple like last month or whatever, get his first, it's awesome to see that stuff, man, because we've talked to you and some other guys, and it's just like what you tell us that you've gone through over the last however many years, and you finally get that pinnacle moment. It's to me, that's what sports are all about, but it's just me. I like watching sports. like seeing people win.
Same.
Man, do you think about, let's see, the last time you were on, I think I remember you saying like there was a point in like your career, like you were kind of like almost on a fade out, um, where it was like, I don't know, like tough or something, and then something happened, and like things just turned around for you, and now here you are, ninth in points to the rider. You're what
Sixth in
overall?
sixth in FedEx.
Six in FedEx, and it's like, bam, like in the course of like a couple of years or so, things just like took off for you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't
I
remember exactly what point I might have been talking about. I know my rookie year I got gifted pretty good because all the guys left for live, so I got like bumped up the rankings way higher than I should have been. So I was able to kind of keep my status on the PGA Tour when otherwise I would have been sent back to Corn Ferry Tour. That was my one gift there for sure.
Gotcha.
Well, the thing about it
Yeah.
is, I mean, you didn't squat. I mean, you're not squat. I mean, look at how you like. Look at the way things are going right now.
Yeah, I mean, I took advantage of it for sure, which was big. But.
Yeah. Okay. So what was I going to ask? The next thing we were going to talk about is football. Like we got to talk football, man. You have a football podcast. We're football guys. The draft was the other day. We got fantasy football. We got fantasy football. We got rookies. We got to talk about the Panthers because I have a bunch of questions about the Panthers and the way that they drafted. So we're going to pull up some of the draft here. We're going to go over the Panthers draft first. Okay. I want to hear what you have to see. We've got the expert Mel Kiper. First of all, do you have any takeaways from the draft before I pull this up? You know, like what were your top things? Obviously, the headlines were going nuts with Shedeur Sanders and the prank calls and the you know, all this nonsense going on. Mel Kiper losing his mind. I mean, what was your takeaway?
I think Mel was honestly like one of the biggest stories, which is sad because the draft's not supposed to be about him. It's supposed to be about all the guys getting drafted. But I think it was one of the biggest stories. Like, I mean, the dude's probably like, I would assume like that's the last draft he covers.
Whoa, yeah.
Like, I don't see like why would you bring him back? I mean, that was the most unprofessional thing. Like, I'm sure you can find somebody else that knows all the players and can like watch the film on him and talk about him. Like, I don't know if he was like upset because like, can you imagine like a weatherman getting like upset because the weather wasn't doing what he thought it was going to do and was just like losing his mind? Like, oh, that rain cloud shouldn't be going that way, and like can't get over it and literally can't get through a broadcast because they keep freaking out about one rain cloud going the wrong way. Like, nobody cares that you got it wrong. You're not expected. Your mock draft, your big board is not expected to be right.
No.
Just tell us about the players when they get drafted because you've watched all the film. Like, say, oh, this is a good pick because of this, or I'm concerned about this for this player. Like, we don't care that like this is like your opinion doesn't really matter. Just like you have all the info, give us that. That's all we need. It was unbelievable that he could not just get over the fact that Shedeur was not getting picked for teams.
He couldn't. The amount of people that are like, oh, these, you know, the quarterback you know, we don't trust these quarterback evaluators. I'm like, you don't trust the people in the NFL who this is what they do 24 hours a day. They sit in an office and talk about football players for the Panthers or the Browns or whoever. It's like, I didn't ever understand like the quarterback class. Cam Ward, obviously the best talent. But then after that, it's kind of just pick who you want because I kind of see them all the same way, in my opinion, from the draft. You know, that's just me. But, you know, we'll see if Tennessee can put enough around Cam Ward. But let's here's the Panthers picks. Number 8 overall. Okay. The Panthers defense last year was not good. As a Panthers fan,
historically terrible.
Yes, awful. Like gave up most points ever or something. Ted McMillan, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I mean, you have a young quarterback that was showing some promise. I was convinced they were going Jalen Walker there. I thought that. Yeah. I thought because the Panthers do this thing where they just love a local kid. And Jalen Walker is from like Salisbury or something like that. He like grew up like maybe born in South Carolina, grew up in like North Carolina or something, like local kid. So I thought for sure that's where he was ending up.
That's just across the river for me.
Yeah. And
20
then,
minutes.
I was fine with the pick. Like I think wide receiver was like not bad. I think it helps Bryce. I knew after they took that though, I did think every single pick for the rest of the draft was going to be defense, and they didn't really end up doing that. But I would say they drafted pretty heavily to needs. I would say the ETN pick definitely signals like how they're feeling about Brooks right now, which is concerning.
That's bad.
But I do think ETN's a pretty solid player. I think the Georgia offensive line was like kind of up and down last year. Like they were good. They had some decent players, but like it's not the Georgia offensive line that we've kind of seen the last few years. So I think the efficiency dipped a bit, but I do think he could be a pretty solid player. Jimmy Horn, fine. I think there were probably a few other wide receivers I would have rather had there, especially if he's going to be like, I don't know if that's like what you're looking for maybe punt return, kick return kind of player.
Yeah.
I would like to see that be Ricky White. I think he ended up going in the 7th round out of UNLV, like super dynamic player. But I mean, the rest was fine. Like I think both of those edges were picked probably at value. Like I saw some people putting Scorton in like late 1st round.
Yeah.
Look, you got SEC edges. You got one bigger, one more of like a true pass rush guy. They drafted pretty heavily to needs. It's just whether guys pan out. Like, I don't know. Like sometimes I think dudes are going to do good and then they're terrible. Sometimes I'm like, I don't like that pick, and then the player ends up being good. It's, hopefully they scouted well. I did learn Dan Morgan loves a trade up.
Oh, he's a trade guy.
Well, he kept trading up. Like I think both the 2nd and 3rd round picks he traded up for. He was like, he's going to go get his guy. He likes going to get his guy. So. Sorry, was that a question that just got flashed up? That thing.
Oh yeah, he said Panthers missed out on Milton Williams. Did they wait too long with Cam? I guess they've been Cam Jackson.
At DT.
Yeah.
Out of principle, I do not like drafting any players from the University of Florida. There is just like an abundance of evidence that players from the University of Florida bust at a like way significantly higher rate than other universities. Now that is more specifically to like 1st round and higher picks. So this might work out. What was that?
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So this might work out because it's, a little bit later pick, but I'm less worried about DT right now. I think we actually have some decent like interior line depth.
We got the dude from Auburn. What's his name?
Derek
Brown.
Brown. And he'll be back healthy, which is going to help a lot. When he got hurt last year, the interior got exposed pretty badly. But
somebody said you're the odds-on favorite to replace Mel Kiper as the draft analyst.
Yes, I'll do it. That's fine. I'm busy Thursday to Sunday.
True,
which is tough. If we can move the draft Monday to Wednesday, I'm down.
He said Kadarius Toney took that personally from Florida.
Yeah, great. Another University of Florida stud. Like literally, like you can go through it. Like there is like actual data to back this up. Like, and the sad thing is like it was like the last 20 or 25 years, like one of their like hit players was like Aaron Hernandez because he was actually good at football before he started murdering people.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
Like that counted as like a good pick for them. Like that's not good.
No, it's like you were saying that. I'm sitting here racking through my mind. I'm like Kyle Pitts, Tim Tebow, Percy Harvin. You start going through these guys. They've
had a couple like Kyer Elam.
Elam, yes.
He like did nothing for the Bills.
Nope.
He's on like a new team. You had already said Pitts flop. Trask was taken. He was 2nd round, but he has done like I don't even know if he's played a single game. There have been a lot of busts out of Florida, and I don't. It's like bizarre. I don't know if it's just like it's too many where it's like kind of not really a coincidence, but yeah, it's weird. So, jury's still out on Pearsall. I actually do think Pearsall could end up being a decent player.
Oh yeah, now you're talking language. You see me back here? He
had enough years at Arizona State that maybe like the stench of Florida can't like really like he got shot, and that got the Florida out of there, and now Arizona State, and so now he's like,
Can I just? I'm a 49ers fan, so can I just? What a terrible. I mean, we had a guy get shot. It was bad.
Oh,
bad year.
San Fran was probably the unluckiest team in the NFL last year. I'd have to like put it up there. Detroit had it pretty bad too, but like they had like good luck within the games, but their defense was like decimated by injuries. But yeah, San Fran was like, they do have an older roster, so like you can kind of write it off there. But I am rooting for Pearsall a little bit though, because I really did like him at Arizona State. He's like one of the like not many Gators I'm rooting for, but I'll root for that guy to like be decent.
So, do you think could it be Gatorade? That's affected the Gators.
Hot take.
Ain't originated.
Is it Urban Meyer? Did he
curse him?
He could have. He still cursed the Jags. They can't get her. They can't figure it out.
Yeah, but Ohio State's got it figured out since then. So
that's true. Well, they just paid for it. They bought all their play. Did you see how many people were drafted from Ohio State? It was something stupid. I can't remember.
Oh, like in this class or something?
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
Probably a lot. They were a really good football team.
Yeah, it's pretty typical though after a national championship win.
Yeah.
So let's go to the rest of the NFC South is what I want to do for
There were some interesting drafts in the NFC South. Like I would say, like I've seen some people say they like the Panthers draft, some people say they hate it. I feel like for a lot of the teams in the NFC South, like people are like super split. Like I've seen people say the Buccaneers did horrible, and then I've seen people like, oh, I see what they're doing. Like, so I
don't get the Emeka Egbuka. I mean, he's a good player. I don't know why.
It's just not a position of need. Like that's the thing. It's like some people are like, oh, I love the player, so then they like the draft, but then I'm like. I think it's fine they went wide receiver. If they really like the player, I think it's fine. Like you have Mike Evans, who's like 32, and you have Chris Godwin, who
injury
5 games out of. You're pretty happy. Like
yeah.
He's the kind of guy that like nobody's gonna draft because they're like, oh, he's like buried on the depth chart, and by like week 5, he's like a top 20 wide receiver play in fantasy.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like somebody got hurt, Mike
Right.
Evans is hurt, Chris Godwin's hurt or something.
And
all
Baker
of a sudden
throws
he's
it like
there
50
getting
times.
All of a sudden Egbuka's out there getting like 9 targets from Baker and like a good offense.
Who was the evaluation on him too was like he's a extremely intelligent wide receiver with his route running and proficiency as a wide receiver.
I don't see a whole lot of like difference between him and like JSN as players.
Yeah.
Like I feel like somewhat similar. Like they're like, especially if he ends up working slot stuff for the Buccaneers, like in that offense, it'll probably go well for him.
That tells me who was the guy that they drafted last year from Washington. That tells me on
McMillan. Yeah, that's.
Yep. See you later.
I thought he had his moments last year, but that one's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
I thought Atlanta really knocked it out of the park because they took your Walker, and then they traded back in to get James Pierce. And out of Tennessee, and Pierce is going to be a nightmare off the edge.
This was a very aggressive move because there is like in my mind, there's like a very real chance the Falcons just go like 5-12 this year, and so like they may have just sent. I think it was the Rams. I think they may have just sent them like a top 10, 12 pick. But
I hate the Rams.
I don't know. The Jalen Walker pick I think was probably one of the best picks of the first round. I'm not that high on Pierce. Like, I feel like he's a guy that's very good, but like almost only going to play like, I don't know. I feel like he's a bit more of like a third down specialist, which is a bit interesting. But I love the Watts pick. I don't know. There's only 5 picks. There's only so much you can do. What's that?
Their defense was so bad. They can't get to the quarterback. They're the worst team at getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
They're awful at getting to the quarterback. They
grabbed 2 of the guys that are probably best at that. So.
And they had Matthew Judon. So I don't know. And then who was the other one? The Saints.
Took a left tackle. They got Tyler Shook in second, which was interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Sanker, I like. The Neal
Stanko's
kid
a
from
good
Kansas is
player.
pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
Devin Neal. He a lot of carries in college, so he's taking some hits, but good running back though.
do we believe in Shuck though? I mean,
I mean, him, Spencer Rattler. Like if Carr's out, like neither of those guys. Like I don't know, maybe Taysom Hill might just be like tight end 1 this year if you can play him in tight end. Like if he's just like getting multiple snaps at quarterback because they don't have really a legit quarterback anyway, could be insane.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
I just don't think this is going to be a very good football team this year.
they're in cap hell again.
Yeah,
for like the 10th consecutive year. So
yes.
Why they haven't dealt Kamara, I have no idea. They could get a haul for him for somebody, but he's all they got. So where do you think, after looking at all these draft picks, do you think in the NFC South where the Panthers, where realistically as a Panthers guy, where do you think they're at?
I think Panthers and Falcons are duking it out for second. It's pretty close between the two. I haven't seen enough of like Penix to really know, like have like a hard opinion on that. If Bryce is playing well, I do think the Panthers can beat out the Falcons.
They got a lot of work to do.
Buccaneers are still probably a team to beat in the division. It's not a very strong division. So,
what do you make about signing Renfro? Hunter Renfro's back, Panthers.
Yeah, and then it came out why he missed a year. That was crazy.
Yeah,
brutal. So I mean, I'll be rooting for him to do well. Obviously, like Thielen's getting up there. Maybe like another safety blanket for Bryce. I don't hate it.
I love that tight end the Panthers have.
JT Sanders.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a good one. He's got good hands. Reliable guy.
Is he from Texas? Is that the Texas guy?
He landed on his neck last year, and that was pretty scary. I remember watching that. That was bad, but he's a talent. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
There's guys on the roster, but like, well, a little bit unproven, but I think there is like actual talent. It's just, if they keep progressing, like Jalen Coker, like Xavier Legette, like saw flashes last year. Like we don't really know what we have there yet, but it may end up actually being a decent offensive unit.
I wish Legette would just put it together because he's such a personality, man. That guy is so much fun to just follow around.
I just almost feel like we just didn't need to draft running back, and like Legette could almost be like a Cordero Patterson type role, where like you just get the ball in his hands, like even if it's like 5 carries a game, like I feel like it kind of fits his style. He's so like strong with the ball. It's just like the whole like catching the ball thing sometimes is tough.
Yep. Well, I never saw him in college. Like I never saw him in college as like a deep threat. He's like a Debo almost, where it's just like
like his I want to say it was a kickoff return in college was like one of the silliest things I've ever seen. It was like in his highlight tape. It was like the slowest kickoff return I've ever seen, but he just like broke 7 tackles.
Yeah.
And it just guys just could not get him on the ground.
That's what I feel like they're going to figure that out this year. Like Canales is going to figure that out.
He's got things to work with for sure.
They also hilarious that Tampa Bay drafted the heaviest player and the lightest player.
Yeah, saw
that. You also called on your podcast. You called the Giants trading back into this first round and drafting Jackson Dart. Kudos, shout out you.
Yep.
Credit to you. So.
Yeah, I think I'd seen a report that Dayball really liked Dart. It kind of made sense. You get that extra year, like the extra team option there at a position where that matters. He's probably going to sit a lot of this year, I would think. I think it's in Dayball's best interest for him to sit because he probably can buy himself an extra year if he sits. So if like Dayball rushes Dart in there and Dart plays bad, like I could see Dayball getting fired this year.
Yeah.
But if he sits and he develops and he plays maybe a couple games late in the season, like I feel like it's like, okay, we'll give you another shot, like, or another year next year with him. Like there's no real incentive for him to like rush him in there. Like
Yeah.
You have the Eagles in your division. You have the Commanders in your division. Like, you're not winning your division.
Whoa,
You're
whoa,
probably
whoa,
not
whoa.
making the playoffs.
He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, Cowboys are terrible.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
anyway, like,
Bums.
you're in
Come
a
on,
tough
Novak.
division. Like,
Man.
you're not going to win. Like, play Russ, play Jameis, do whatever. Like,
We got Jerry.
let Dart learn, and next year hopefully build around it.
I just feel he's going to be another kind of Zach Wilson type, Drew Lock, where he's just I don't know.
Could be.
I feel like gunslinger type guy who just can't ever seem to see things before the ball is snapped.
I think Drew Lock's not like a horrible comp. I think Dart might be a little bit better runner, but I don't think that's terrible. But who knows? I mean, it's Dayball. He might be able to get something out of him. So
true. Quinn Ewers also got drafted from a Cabela's store.
Dolphins.
See somebody said he looks like he got drafted by Cabela's or something. That
room was crazy.
It was nuts. It looked like the room from Ace Ventura when that guy, Pet Detective, when nature calls, when he's, Ace Ventura gets stuck in there and he freaks out. Okay, I only had one more. I have one more thing we're going to go over, and that's just a list.
Didn't he get drafted by the Dolphins too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Oh my gosh, love that. I just wanted to pull up some rookie rankings of because you've got the fantasy football stuff. So I play fantasy football. I love fantasy football. So let's go ahead and
you're the only guy that plays it.
I love fantasy football.
I love that. Hey, I play fantasy football.
Who won this trade though first? Panthers Bears. If I'm looking at this as a Panthers fan, I'm not mad. I'm mad that you lost DJ Moore. But all the other guys, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams. I'm sorry. I haven't been.
Okay, but I mean, yeah, but Tyreek Stevenson's been fantastic. He had his whole Hail Mary thing last year, which was like a debacle, but he's been a good player. Like, two other first rounders, Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams, Luther Burden's probably going to be great in that Ben Johnson offense. This is not great.
Hated to see that. Hated to see Luther Burden go to the Bears. How many weapons does Caleb Williams need? Thought he was generational. You know what I mean? So, but also I just put that in there because Adam Schefter was wearing a hoodie under his blazer. I don't know if you saw that. If you're looking for,
he's in Green Bay. It's -4 degrees. I'll give him a break.
He knew what he was doing. Can't wear a hoodie under there. Here's the rankings of the rookies. You compiled anything? You've got obviously Ashton Jeanty. Do you think he's going to be the number one rookie on everybody's board? Or is it going to be Travis Hunter?
For people drafting for fantasy purposes, I think Jeanty is far and away just instant smash at 101. He's pretty much going to be that offense. He can handle a big workload. He's going to get the volume. He can catch the ball. He's what you're looking for. And maybe it doesn't work out, but you definitely just take the talent there.
Jeanty he was so much fun to watch in college. What about Travis Hunter? Where do you sit with Travis Hunter?
I'd be scared with Travis at 2, just because I'm not 100% convinced. If he's playing corner, how much volume is he going to get at wide receiver? It's it is risky to take it too. I like Hampton a lot.
Oh my 2, gosh.
But they did just grab Najee, but I'm still not even that concerned about it. In that offense, Hampton should feast.
Did you see this picture of him beside Harbaugh?
Yeah, he's huge.
He looks like a transformer.
Yeah. Go watch. I want to say, I'm not going to look it up. I think it's his tape against FSU last year. I think it was the FSU game. He just went for 300 something yards. Stupid stuff.
Go back to his picture, AK.
That
This
is
is another reason why we're going to soccer
that's dude. Can you
and
imagine like,
and
hey,
tennis.
22 ISO, step up in there, 55, Mike Backer, and here comes Omarion Hampton looking like the Incredible Hulk.
It's guys like this in football that our kids need to pick a different sport.
Unbelievable, dude.
The size
Yeah.
is
So it's his FSU stats. Now this is FSU. They were awful last year, but he had 172 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground, 93 yards receiving and a touchdown. That's 5 total touchdowns and like 300 yards.
Dude, that's stupid.
that's a
One
good
of our
fantasy day.
That's the Alvin Kamara Christmas miracle 2 years ago, fantasy football production, when he scored four touchdowns and wrecked everybody in their fantasy semifinals. You remember that one? Yeah. But anyways,
He was wearing like the Christmas present shoes or something too. That I want to say.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it might have been. I think it was more than 4 touchdowns.
That was stupid. Stupid. Here's a guy that I really like too. Right
Caleb
here.
Johnson? Yeah.
Caleb Johnson.
I think he'll get a lot of work.
Everybody's like, oh, Jalen Warren. It's like, no. Mike Tomlin never had a losing season, by the way. Mike Tomlin loves workhorse back. And he is a. What'd you think about Tyler Warren going to the Colts? Interesting.
I like the player. I think he'll get a lot of work. I think they'll be losing enough games where like dump offs are in play and stuff. He just has like probably the worst quarterback room in the NFL. So
Awful.
It's like just tough. Like, I mean, like Anthony Richardson like legitimately goes through full NFL football games and completes like 10 passes. Like, even if you're getting like half of the target share, which is insane for a tight end, like that's still brutal if there's only going to be 5 completed passes to you. Like,
hey, where Richardson play at?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah. Okay, little wild card down here. If you're a Tyrone Tracy fan, such as I,
yeah, tough.
Real shame.
I do think it allows Tracy to slot a little bit more into probably his preferred like usage. Like I think he's better as like a change of pace, more third down. Like I think Tracy will benefit from having more like 12 to 15 touches a game than like getting 20 carries.
Yeah.
Like he was fine with that last year, but I feel like you're just asking for him to get hurt. Like I think more like get him used in the passing game. Like Scottaboo can handle plenty of carries. He's more your like early down guy.
Yep.
I think that's kind of what the Giants are going for there. Kind of a little tough for fantasy just because it'll be like more of a like split backfield. But I think as far as actual football, I think the guys slot more properly into their roles.
Yep. Another one, the Dylan Sampson, Cleveland, Quinshawn Judkins, Cleveland running back room is. I don't know what the Browns were doing drafting 2 running backs, 2 quarterbacks at the same time, but Dylan Sampson was a freak show at Tennessee, and so was Quinshawn Judkins was good at Ohio State. So I don't know. This seems like a wash. Everybody's really excited about Travion Henderson too, but I mean Ramondre Stevenson's there, so.
Yeah, Sampson has a nose for the end zone. I think he set the record, right? The SEC record for most touchdowns in a season.
I think Henderson will probably take over in New England. Not Sampson. Ramondre Stevenson had fumbling issues last year to the point where like you know how bad your fumbling issues have to be where you're getting replaced by Antonio Gibson, who has also had many fumbling issues. Like
traded from Washington because he couldn't hold on to the ball. I have so much stock in Antonio Gibson. It's incredible.
It's definitely concerning. So I do think Travion, super dynamic player. I think he ends up being very much a factor in New England.
Okay.
Sooner rather than later, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe day one.
Like he'll definitely have a role like starting day one. I think it just expands as the year goes.
Okay. Yeah. There's nothing more I love.
He's one fumble away from taking that job over.
Yeah. It's like seriously.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I love than just keying in on like 1 or 2 rookie running backs and drafting them everywhere in every league. and then just being the all-in. I'm the all-in Omarion Hampton guy, and I will come up with a team name that's, like, something Super Omarion Brothers or something stupid, and that's what I'll name all my teams, and then I'll ride on the back of him, and if he sucks, then it's just going to be a terrible year for me, but that's my strategy. Terrible
It'll be
strategy.
like the life at the Hamptons.
Anyways, that's anything else on these rookie rankings here? I think that's we're
You're looking for running backs to grab. You can go grab Bashal Tootin for Jacksonville. Woo! Speedster.
Yep.
Could be a fun one to stash. Could be frustrating because he also could be a guy who like randomly gets like 5 touches in a week, but turns it into like 15 points because he hits the long one on your bench most likely. But fun player, really good player for Virginia Tech this past year. I was super impressed when I watched him. Let me see if I can pick a wide receiver. I think Kyle Williams will get a ton of burn from New England. He's going to be a little bit feast or famine because I'm guessing he's probably going to be more like the deep route guy. But Drake May's got a cannon. He's going to be kind of like the field stretcher for Stephon Diggs to work underneath. But I think, that wide receiver core, like there's definitely potential for him to just be running a lot of routes early on. So.
Ooh. And New England drafted the tackle, right?
Right, Will Campbell.
Will Campbell. Yeah. Yep. I'll give Drake May some protection there.
No, Drake May, the first 3 picks of the draft, they went left tackle, playmaking running back, and a speedster at wide receiver. You can't really ask for anything else as a quarterback. Like, that's about as good as it gets.
And they totally revamped their front 7 on both sides of the ball. Like, they went. Mike Vrabel just basically gutted everything and said, we're going to build this thing from the inside out. One of my favorite picks of the draft is Harold Fannin out of Bowling Green. Dynamic tight ends. They got nobody that could throw them the football, but Njoku and Fannin are going to be kind of the Mark Andrews /
Maybe that's why they drafted 2 running backs. Maybe they're going to go
12
full flex bone tight.
22 personnel?
No, 32. 32 personnel. You got Judkins as the B back. You got the 2. You got Jerome Ford and who am I missing here?
Dylan Sampson or Chubb?
Dylan Sampson on the sides, run the loops, and you got your 2 tight ends. There's your
32.
Perfect. 32.
And Kenny Pickett's just with his tiny hands is just going to hand the football off.
And who we putting at quarterback if we do that? I guess maybe Gabriel's best because you can't even see him. He's so small back there, hiding behind the offensive line, all the sneaky handoffs. You can't read it at all.
Doug Flutie, that thing.
Yeah.
Where he's just scrambling around. Did you know that Gabriel had the highest velocity throwing footballs? Did you see that?
Yeah, but the number I saw attached to that was inhuman. So I feel like it was
74 miles an hour. Or something.
I feel like it was a misread.
Had to be
on whatever was doing that.
I think in Green Bay drafting that Golden guy, they drafted the same player. They have a Matthew Golden. They have 4 of them.
Yeah, they do.
So,
yeah, between them and that was and Tampa Bay drafting a wide receiver, I was scratching my head there. But Green Bay was more shocking to me because, at least with Tampa Bay, you're like, all right, our guys could get hurt. They are getting older. Mm-hmm. But Green Bay's wide receiver choice was what?
Yeah, that was interesting. Well, man, we appreciate you really coming on and talking football and golf and fantasy football, giving people some things to think about. The Bashal Tootin, I love that. We appreciate that, and man, we're rooting for you. You know that. We'll have your back. If we might be boots on the ground in Charlotte, and if we are, we'll be tagging along, my friend.
Perfect.
So,
definitely.
Shout out the podcast too, the Screenplay podcast.
Screenplay, yeah.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, we're going to be on a break here for a while because nothing's going to be going on NFL news-wise for the most part. But we did just drop our last NFL draft recap video. I guess I did a bit of that here, but that was a lot of fun to do. So
Love
if
it.
y'all want to go check it out,
I will definitely check
All
it
right.
out. There's nothing like talking football. It's the best, truly.
Love it.
So everybody, you know who you're rooting for going forward at all the majors, and moving forward. Really,
bring your signs with the NOs.
yes. Bring your hashtag.
Lowercase birdies,
Yep.
uppercase
Circles
eagles.
only. That's right.
The
We got to bring that back.
Novak.
Man, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
And we'll get you back on to talk more Panthers as we get close.
Perfect.
All right, everybody.
I'm behind my head. And we will see you next time. Go Niners.
Go Panthers.
Boys.
Keep pounding.